All right, Isla.
Hey.
One more that we could not talk about the other day from the Raw Fury little preview event.
Post-trauma.
Post-trauma. Love letter to Silent Hill.
Oh boy, yeah.
Started before all the Silent Hill games got announced.
Yeah, they said that it was deeply inspired by Silent Hills 1 through 4 and like the first 3 Resident Evils. Basically like the fixed camera ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows obviously. It wears its heart on its sleeve in that regard. And yeah, they were saying that they started before the Silent Hill 2 remake was like at least out. I don't know, maybe
It wasn't
announced as well. Okay,
because it was like 4 years ago.
That's true. So, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like if you like that kind of stuff, you're on the right foot from the jump.
They also are talking about it's more puzzle focused.
Yeah,
like it's
puzzle first.
Heavy emphasis on puzzles, and then like more like mid on combat.
Yeah. So
although for Huber, shotgun.
Oh my God!
A lot of attention on making sure that shotgun is good. We didn't get to play it, but he was like talking about like, no, we got to get the shotgun right. Like, do you know what it's like when you shoot a shotgun in a room?
Yeah.
Like, it's a big deal.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, if you shoot it in a small area, like you get tinnitus, you can't hear for a little bit. Like it's a big gun, you know. Shotguns are big. And I was like, Huber's gonna love that.
Yeah, but he's also talking about like it comes kind of like with the blowback, where it's
yeah.
like you better have that thing aimed right, because when you shoot it, like you're not gonna be able to shoot it again for a second. Yeah.
Which is realistic, because like shotguns are intense. Like they're not for the weak of shoulder. But yeah. So yeah, it's very dark. Perhaps too dark, but we were also in an incredibly bright room, but like super vibey. And also something I kind of appreciated about it was the flashlight kind of sucked.
Right.
Like it was very dim and very like, spotlighted. And so we actually talked with the dev about that, where like they had gone back and forth on that. 'Cause a lot of games, you get the flashlight and it's basically like, you can see everywhere. This is very much not that, where it's like you have a flashlight that's a flashlight, and they wanted the atmospheric lighting and stuff to not really sacrifice or be sacrificed because you had a light. And I think that it's a really cool style choice, especially in this kind of, it's like a modern fixed camera game. So, the left stick or the right stick, you can influence, a little bit of where the camera is, and the flashlight does follow. So it's like, okay, if you're like, what's that? You move the stick and you can get a better view at it. And if it's like a important item, the character's head will turn and like you'll get a little icon.
Yeah, and there were some things that because they had to revert back to an older build because there were some issues with the new one. So like there's some things that were implemented more recently that we hadn't gotten to see yet.
Close-up shots on key items and stuff. Yeah, the build. I should say that the build we played was like earlier even than what they're currently at. For preview purposes, they went with a more stable build than where they're even at right now in development. And, there was some placeholder text and stuff that we saw. Probably not in the B-roll, but like, yeah. So there were a few things where it's like the character would have had a thought, like a internal monologue thought that would have been subtitled about this or that, and that we just, saw placeholder stuff for it.
Yeah,
but
like
you
kind of just started on a subway.
Yeah, you wake
You're
up
just,
on
stuck in a locked subway.
Well, it starts with like pulling a trigger on a guy, and then you wake up in a subway, and I was like, whoa, that was intense. Like, what's going on? So that was pretty, post-trauma, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so they said that it emphasizes puzzles, and from the little that we played, it seems like these are capital P puzzles. Like the first one is to get the combination for lock to get to a next train car, and you have to figure out some stuff with some shapes and numbers on maps and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, this is a pretty tough first puzzle, like especially in a preview event.
Well, it was funny too because he was like, yeah, we wanted to make sure that you could brute force it. And I'm like, how do I brute force like a 5-digit combination
combo.
lock? What? Like, that's a lot of
it would take 30 minutes or something, but well, and they gave you they gave you a couple of the numbers. So if you figured out the order, then you would have less to figure out. But
Sure.
yeah, they were saying they wanted it to be. I think what he meant when he was saying that was they wanted it to be more like, it's like real life, where it's like it's not gated by having seen or picked up an item. You know, if you know the code or if you figured it out or brute forced it, you can just go.
Right.
So the speedrunners are happy about that. But like, yeah, so that isn't to say there's no combat because it's puzzle focused. I fought 1 or 2 enemies in the time we played and bashed it with a crowbar.
First one was real freaky.
Real nasty.
Like 2
Twins.
people like conjoined like in the center.
Naked lady joined with a other half of a lady or something. It was pretty wild. Yeah, but you know the vibes are right. The lighting is dark and moody. Seems like the story is pretty heavy. And we can allude loosely to the fact that there are multiple characters.
Yeah.
And I think in the trailer it shows at least 2 of them. But I think there are 3 maybe, which seems cool. And I don't want to say any like story implications from like how they might interface with the areas, but like it seems like kind of a cool story that might go like over time or something. I don't know, but like it seems neat. Like it, you know, the state we played it in was pretty, you know, obviously not totally polished and finished or anything, but it shows a lot of promise, I think. Like, it seems cool.
You're definitely in one of those situations where you don't know what's going on and the character doesn't know what's going on either. Because you get to this one point where, like, you're talking to someone over, like, from a security room, and she's like, I need help. And she's like, we all need help, but do we deserve it? And like, what is going on?
And he's like, my name is this. And she's like, my name is Jill, but you knew that already. And she, like, sounded pretty, like, irritated.
Yeah.
With your character, and I'm like, okay, like, oh shoot, like, what's going on here? Like she didn't seem like she liked the character, and she was saying something like, I'm supposed to tell you this,
right?
And I don't know why.
I'm supposed to give you
this code,
Like,
and so like, yeah, that kind of stuff is cool. But yeah, if you like, you know, looking around, paying attention to details, finding items. You know, there was a lot of like, check this area for an item, like backtrack to where you were, but from the other side, so you can get this like wire, so you can get the thing. And it didn't seem like too dream logic-y. It's just more about like, you've got to
some pretty grody stuff too.
See it and notice it.
Like
oh yeah.
Bloody hands sticking out of a vending machine.
Yeah, stuff like that.
And,
a lot of mannequins everywhere.
Some mannequins, some flesh tentacles.
A lot of flesh tentacles, yeah.
Yeah, this was one whole path that was blocked by just like a mass of flesh tentacles.
Flesh tentacles.
Yeah. Which
was great because like, you know, inside baseball, I guess a little bit, like one of the placeholder texts was just like, it said something like blocked by flesh tentacles, but like he would have, obviously the character wouldn't think that. It would just, but that's what they wrote for the placeholder, and I was like, that was kind of fun. But yeah, I don't know, it seems cool so far. Like the state we played it in is, you know, not quite there yet, but like I was enjoying it, and it seems very in keeping with its inspirations, and I think that it bodes well, you know?
Worth keeping an eye out for.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder how long it'll be.
Sure. Yeah.
Something like this, like, you know, you don't want it to be super long. But, yeah, I think it looks cool.
Cool. We'll see that soon. Post-trauma. Thank you for watching. We are Easy Allies, and we do previews and podcasts and all kinds of fun stuff. So check out that stuff on our channel. And if you would like to support us, go to patreon.com/easyallies, and we will see you soon.